Welcome back, wrestling fans. Lance Muscle with you here, and tonight we've got the title back on the line 2 weeks in a row. The brand new champion, Rick Steiner, will have to put it up in the return match against Dr. Death Steve Williams right here tonight. All right, we are back, and our opening contest is going to be a tag team match. Joining me here, as always, the big cowboy Bill Watson tonight. Cowboy, we're going to see the world title, the UWF Championship on the line here, and that's always a great moment. We saw what happened last week. History definitely was made. Could very well happen again here tonight. Well, there's no doubt about it. That's what we bring you here is in the UWF. It's the best of the best. This is not about just having a bunch of squash matches. We lead up, and each and every week we want to bring you the very best wrestlers going up against the very best wrestlers, and you're going to see that right here tonight in this opening match alone. Indeed you are, because as we see right now, he's already the former UWF television champion. Came on and made quite the splash here, pardon the pun, in the UWF. He is known the world over as Kamala. And tonight it'll be a tag team match, and it's going to be two guys that are very hard to control. The question is, will they be able to control themselves? I'll tell you, it's going to be very interesting to find out, because these two boys, I'll tell you, they look crazy, they act crazy, but I can tell you, I don't think they're as crazy as they want people to believe they are. I think it's just part of the mental warfare. They may be a lot smarter than people give them credit for. Well, here comes his tag team partner. The man who lives up to the name each and every time I've ever seen him, the Missing Link. And I think he might be missing a link or two, if you know what I'm saying. Well, he's definitely been accused of being a couple of French fries short of a Happy Meal in the past, and I'm not going to say that's true or not. I'm just saying, if it's an act, he's got a convincing one going on. Missing Link making his way into the ring at this time. We're going to see the debut of some top talent here tonight. We're going to be getting a look at this newcomer here to the UWF in a little while. This Shane Douglas. Heard a lot about him. Tremendous young talent, and he's going to be here in the UWF. We'll be seeing him later tonight. The television champion is here, and he is defending the title. Well, as I said, here in the UWF, we don't take shortcuts. We're going to get him out here. We're going to hook him up, and we're going to put on a match. All right, here comes their opposition. First man coming down the aisle at this time, Terry Taylor. Also the former television champion. As a matter of fact, he was the television champion until the Ugandan there took it away from him. And he and Kamala have had a little back and forth ever since. They've had a very competitive feud, although it looks like Kamala, if you're looking at the win-loss record, probably has the advantage over Terry Taylor. But well, Terry Taylor's another great young wrestler. You know, we talk about this Shane Douglas we're going to be seeing later on tonight. He's very much cut from the same mold as Terry Taylor. Good-looking young kid, and he can wrestle, man. That's the bottom line. He can wrestle, and that's what we are all about here in the UWF. Well, speaking of somebody who has shown he can wrestle, coming from the Florida State University, the Seminoles, pride of the Seminoles, Ron Simmons has made the transition from college football to professional wrestling, and he's made it look easy. Well, Simmons, he's a natural athlete. This guy can pretty much pick up anything he wants to and put his mind to it and be very successful at it. And the fact that he's chosen to do that with professional wrestling, that's going to bode well for him, not so well for a lot of other people, I'm afraid. To the best of my knowledge, the first time he's been involved in a tag team match, definitely with Terry Taylor. So there's an element of getting familiar with your partner before you can necessarily be considered a top tag team anywhere. But in this case, all four men, not necessarily regular tag team partners. Well, Kamala and the Missing Link, they were teaming up a little bit back in the World Class, but the reality is they had somebody handling them, then they had somebody kind of guiding them around, and I think for tag team wrestling, those two boys might need that kind of help outside, but we'll find out because, again, they got power, they got strength, they got size, they got all kinds of advantages right now over somebody like Terry Taylor, for example, who's a tremendous wrestler in his own right. I just don't know if he's got enough to take on somebody like Kamala. Well, Terry Taylor now with those backhand knife-edge chops, and he brings Kamala down. And as long as he's on his back, the size advantage really doesn't work against Terry Taylor. There's the tag made to the big powerhouse Ron Simmons. And now Simmons hammering away on Kamala. Big shoulder tackle, and down he goes. What is Simmons going to do here? Slingshot rolls in. You're looking at a man who weighs 260, 265, and he just made that look simple. Well, I told you, Ron Simmons, he's a natural athlete. He's going to pick up anything he goes after and be successful at it. And I'm just, again, professional wrestling, he's taking that like a duck to water, and I expect to see him make very quick time here in the world of professional wrestling, and I would not be surprised if he is knocking on the door of the UWF champion in the very near future. Well, when we debuted here on the Nation Network, one of our matches featured Ron Simmons against Rick Steiner, and those two had a couple of really good matches. And now Kamala getting the upper hand on Simmons. We still haven't seen the Missing Link in the match yet, although that might be getting ready to change right here. Simmons is not in a good place. Kamala's got him deep in his corner, just slams him hard down to the canvas. And now the Missing Link and Kamala, they do seem to be having some problems getting along. Well, I'm not sure which language each of them speaks, but I don't think English is either one. And communication is a very important part of tag team wrestling. And these two boys can't communicate, then they're going to find themselves on the short end of the paycheck, so to speak. Simmons now ramming the head of Kamala repeatedly into that turnbuckle. He doesn't know where he is. Kamala was trying to reach out for a tag, but he was going towards the wrong corner, and it's not going to help you any. As Simmons now continues the beatdown. Well, no doubt about it. Right now, Ron Simmons and Terry Taylor, they are definitely put on the best of the two teams right now. They've done the best tagging in and out. They have done the best double teaming. And right now, look at this. Kamala's going to make that tag. Finally going to make that tag. Here comes the Missing Link. And down goes Terry Taylor in a clubbing clothesline. Follows it up with a shoulder tackle. And now the Missing Link just beating Terry Taylor down to the canvas. He will use that head of his as a weapon any chance he gets from any place in and outside the ring. Went for the splash. Nobody was there. As a matter of fact, I think he might have been trying that headbutt. I don't care who you are. If you hit your head smack dab on the canvas coming off the middle rope, there's not a lot of forgive in that ring. A lot of people have a misconception about the ring, think it's a trampoline. It's not a trampoline. And if he's hitting that thing head first, then he's going to feel it. He might feel it less than somebody else, but he's going to feel it. Right now, he's feeling Ron Simmons. Yeah, Ron Simmons hammering away on that head. He's going to see just how tough that thing really is. Try and crack that nut if he can. And now look at that. The missing link. With some pretty strong strategy there coming out the back door. Now taking the advantage on Simmons. Butterflies the arms. Has him up in the air. What's he going to do? Well, Simmons is right now in trouble. He's at the mercy of the missing link who could do anything with him. And then he decides to take him down with a big suplex and just drives the body of Ron Simmons hard into the mat. Now there's Ron Simmons lunging. Makes the tag. Here comes Terry Taylor. And again, the missing link just drops Terry Taylor. Well, I'll tell you, it's probably a good thing just to see him, even though Terry Taylor is getting it handed to him right now. Simmons looked like he was going to be in a lot of trouble as well. He rolled over and made that tag at the last minute. And right now, Taylor just clotheslining the missing link out to the floor. Nothing but concrete out there, and that's not going to be very forgiving at all. Oh, Taylor down. I think he struck the back of his head into the guardrail. You can hear the sound of that one, and Taylor might be out. Yeah, Terry Taylor definitely caught that one flush, and now what's he going to do with him here? Giant swing takes him around, Terry Taylor. And now wait, Ron Simmons intercepting the missing link and throws him in there to give his partner a breather, but I'm not sure that's going to be enough. Referee's count continues. Taylor is not going to make it back into the ring. And just like that, the missing link and Kamala will get the victory by a count out. Well, you know what? It wasn't pretty, but it's a win. And they'll take a W any chance they get, and that's right there what it is. That's a W. Terry Taylor was able to get up to all four, but that was it. He could never really get up to his feet again, and referee, pretty slow count in my opinion, gave him every opportunity in the world, but he couldn't get back in there. Now we're looking at these two monsters right here with a victory, and well, again, anything could happen here in the UWF, and I'd hate to see what would happen if these two guys got in there against one of the top tag teams and see what goes on in there. But we may not have heard the last of Terry Taylor and Ron Simmons. I don't know, but we will find out. All right, fans, stay with us. We still have plenty more action still to come here. This is the UWF, and we are live from the Sam Houston Arena. All right, fans. Our first title match of the night, and it is for the UWF Television Championship, and entering the ring area, making his way down the aisle at this time from parts unknown, this is the Masked Superstar. Well, Masked Superstar is another one of them men who's known the world over, and he decided he wanted to try his hand here in the UWF. He's claimed he's going to make his way all the way to the champion. He's going to take the title. A lot of questions about who's the man under the mask. Well, he claims to be world famous, and that's why he wears the mask, that he can't take a chance on having the throngs of fans camping out and haunting him, so he uses that for his anonymity. But he did say that if he ever wins, or when he wins the UWF Championship, he is going to unmask, and we will all know who the superstar is. Well, we'll see if that happens. Right now, he's got to deal with Rick Steiner and possibly even Dr. Death Steve Williams before the night's over, so we'll see. Right now, the TV title is what's on the line, and Brad Armstrong makes his way to the ring. The fans here loving him. Armstrong was considered an upset win when he defeated Kamala to get that title. Well, you know what? Brad Armstrong come from a wrestling family. Bullet Bob Armstrong, of course, his father. He's grown up in the business. He's grown up around the business. He understands the business, and he's a wrestler, bottom line. That's what we have here at UWF. We've got wrestlers. And you give a wrestler an opportunity, size won't matter so much if you know how to offset the size. And that's exactly what Brad Armstrong did in that match. Well, he might have to do it again on this one, because the Masked Superstar definitely is going to have the size, weight, and probably strength advantage. Not quite to the level of Kamala, but still in all, Brad Armstrong is going to have to use his wrestling knowledge here, and hopefully that will be enough to offset the Masked Superstar. But let's be honest, the Masked Superstar is a tremendous wrestler in his own right. We could be looking at a brand new television champion here. Well, there's no easy weeks around here in the UWF. Everybody coming in is going to have an opportunity, and they're going to have the opportunity to shine. If they do that, they get up. If they don't, they work their way up. That's just the way it is. Here it is, the television championship. The seasoned veteran and the Masked Superstar going up against the youngster and Brad Armstrong. And now look at this. Oh, wasting no time at all going to work on Brad Armstrong. Good night, Irene. Deep arm drag now, and Brad Armstrong taking him down. Tremendous clothesline, and now what is he going to do here? Brad Armstrong trying to even things up in this one. Goes up, head scissor, takes him down, nicely done. Boot down to the midsection, a lower back now, and continues the beatdown for the moment at least on the Masked Superstar. Well, that was a tremendous move right there. You just saw Brad Armstrong drop him head first, and that's what Brad's got to do. He's got to stay on the offense, but he's also got to make sure he doesn't let him gain his feet. Doesn't want him to go toe-to-toe, match power versus power, because that's where he comes up short. But if he can keep this on the mat, then he's got a fighting chance. Well, there's your point right there. Masked Superstar back on his feet, and what happens? He just drops him with a tough shoulder tackle, but Armstrong fighting back again. He does not want to give that title up, that's for sure. Drop down, comes up now, waiting for the back elbow, and nobody was home. Now it's a Masked Superstar. Both men meeting in the ring. Could not hold him, and now the champion face first planting the challenger. I think the Masked Superstar may be getting a little bit more than he bargained for in this one. Oh, look at that. He was trying to knock him off the apron, and the Masked Superstar just caught him. And down goes Brad Armstrong. Yeah, Brad Armstrong got a little bit ahead of himself that time. He really thought he was going to just send him crashing maybe into the guardrail or something. But what ends up happening sometimes when you get a little too far ahead of yourself is you find yourself on the short end of the stick, and now Brad Armstrong fighting his way back one more time. Once again, Armstrong's got the Masked Superstar here on the apron. Drops in with a big right hand, and down he goes. Brad Armstrong getting this crowd up. Whoa, wait a minute. Definite message being sent with that one. Now the Masked Superstar back in, and they're going to throw punches. Masked Superstar's on the receiving end of some of this offense that I don't think he expected. And now Brad Armstrong, he's got him in a clover leaf, and he's got it in. He's sitting deep into it. Masked Superstar gonna have to try, and he does. Turns it in and manages to escape somehow. Snapmare taking over the champion, and now Armstrong is in trouble as the Masked Superstar has really got it cinched in deep. Well, Masked Superstar, again, he is a tremendous wrestler as well. He knows his way in and around the ring, and he is just giving Brad Armstrong a workout right here. I knew when I saw this match on paper that it was going to be one that we would all be watching, and we'd all be expecting to see some great things from, and neither one of these men has let us down yet. Oh, he went for it. Nobody home. He caught him. Look at that, right on the money. He's out cold. This may be all she wrote for the Masked Superstar. It is. What a victory for Brad Armstrong. Well, you know what I said at the beginning? We've got wrestlers here. We've got guys who know how to wrestle and know how to offset things. And Brad Armstrong caught him flush as he was stepping right into that kick. Knocked him out cold with that one. And I'll tell you right now, it's going to take a long time for the Masked Superstar to realize what just happened. Fans, I'll tell you something. Brad Armstrong has just put his name on the map with that win. He is still the UWF Television Champion. My hat's off to Brad Armstrong. Fans, stay with us for more UWF Wrestling. All right, welcome back, wrestling fans, and it is time. We are about to see a debut that I've been looking forward to. Not sure what's going on there. Buddy Roberts somehow has He's still in possession of the NWA six-man tag team gold, even though that's no longer his. Well, knowing Ric Flair and the Horsemen the way I do, I would not doubt for a fact that they had those belts custom made for their team, although you got to realize they ain't the tag team champions no more either, as I understand. No, they lost the titles just recently. American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, the Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant, and, of course, Manny Fernandez. But how Buddy Roberts has won is beyond me. But here comes his opponent tonight. We talked about him earlier, Shane Douglas. This young man out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Tremendous wrestling talent. And tonight we're going to get an opportunity to see him one-on-one with a true veteran of the ring. We talked about the last match with Brad Armstrong going up against a veteran. I think there may be a little bit of a difference in this one. In this case, Shane Douglas doesn't give up size or strength. I think it's very even, but the experience factor, there's no substitute for experience. Well, indeed, there's not, I'll tell you. But Shane Douglas wasted no time whatsoever. Look at this. He hooks him up right away, drops him head first on the canvas, and Buddy Roberts in trouble. Indeed, Buddy Roberts very quickly on the receiving end as now Shane Douglas going for that suplex, but Roberts turns the tide a little bit and he wants to teach this young man some manners perhaps, but look at this. Shane Douglas, exactly what I mentioned, using his wrestling ability to thwart the attempt. But Buddy Roberts, look at this. Roberts with a big elbow, and down he goes. Well, one of the Freebirds for many years. Now they're all going their separate ways since the big loss at the Clash of the Champions a couple of months ago required them. Look at this, there it is, to part ways. And we have seen the Freebirds recently, individually. Michael Hayes had an opportunity the other night against Ric Flair to get the world title. They came up short in that one. Oh, look at this. Shane Douglas with an inverted figure four leg lock on Buddy Jack. Oh, Buddy Jack Roberts, I'll tell you, he's caught right there with that big drop kick by Shane Douglas. From behind now, Shane Douglas taking him down. And Buddy's got to be wondering, what's this kid got going on here? He's thrashing me around from one side to the next, and now Shane says, come on back in the ring. I'm not done yet. Roberts takes advantage of the youth and inexperience right here. Takes him over the hard way. Nice hip roll right there, and Shane Douglas feeling that in the lower back. Meantime, Buddy on the middle rope. Oh, he's second thought. Well, he must have seen something he thought either a better opportunity or he just didn't like what he was seeing from where he was at. Again, when you go to high-risk territory, you got the risk both ways. You got a big payoff or you could have a big shortcoming if you miss, and sometimes you have to just measure out whether or not it's worth that risk. And Buddy Roberts decided it wasn't at that point in time. Well, in the meantime, he has kind of taken things over here just a bit. He's got Shane Douglas tied up in the corner, choking him out, and now the rookie rolling outside the ring. Now Douglas back inside the ring. And Buddy Jack one more time, this time a gutbuster, and now look at him, just admiring his handiwork from the corner. Well, that'd be a mistake in my opinion. You got an opportunity with this kid. You better put him away. You leave him hanging around too long, you may be in for a big surprise. Down across the top rope, and now Douglas in trouble. Nice suplex right there. That time he got him. Now we'll find out if he can build on this offense that he's starting to put together here. He's calling for it. Let's see, what's he going to do? Face first, and he plants him. Roberts is in trouble. And another blocked attempt by Buddy Jack, and now Irish Whip sends him to the ropes. Douglas caught that leg. Went for the drop kick. Nobody was home. Russian leg sweep caught him. Well, now you look at Buddy Jack, and he wants him up there. He says, come on back up here, rookie. I'm not done with you yet. But again, I think that's a big mistake on the point of Buddy Jack Roberts. But who am I to tell him, right? He's got him up again, and now Douglas comes out the back door, and he caught him. Irish whip to the rope. A drop kick right on the money. And now Shane Douglas waiting on him to get to his feet. What's he got in mind? What a move right there, and he caught him. He hooks up the legs. Oh, and it almost had an upset win. Shane Douglas really did a number on him with that one. Roberts now going for the cover. Gets one, gets two, and Douglas gets a shoulder up off the mat. Well, Buddy Roberts thinks that should have been a 3 count. Maybe he's right, but it wasn't, and that's all that matters now. He's going to have to deal with the fact that this match is still in progress. You can yell at the referee all night long, but that's not going to get you the win. Rakes the eyes of Shane Douglas. Well, you said it before. There's no easy night here in the UWF, and welcome to the big spotlight, Mr. Douglas. Caught him with a jawbreaker. Now Douglas follows him in, clothesline intact, and now what's he gonna do here? He's got the leg. We'll never know. Roberts continues to hammer away on the youngster. Drops the big elbow. He's got his feet up on the ropes. And he only gets 2. Well, Shane Douglas did the right thing this time. He's going to get out there and clear his mind a little bit, and that's probably the smartest move he can make. Roberts around the ring he goes. Clothesline, and Douglas takes him down. Shane Douglas going for the figure 4 leg lock, and it's on. Has it cinched in deep right now, and Buddy Jack Roberts is in trouble. Roberts is going to have to do something, and he fights his way out of it. Well, that's not the more conventional way of doing it. Usually you'll see people turn that thing over, and he didn't do that. Instead, he just literally punched himself out of it. Well, whatever works, I suppose, is going to be good. Here comes, oh, this could be the end of the match right there. I believe that's all she wrote for Mr. Douglas. And now hooking the leg, it's 1, gets 2, gets 3, no! Douglas again finding a way. And Buddy Roberts not happy at all. Walks right into that one. Shane Douglas again, cradle right into it. He's got the legs. He got him. Wow, what a win that was right there for Shane Douglas. That's how you make your statement right here in the UWF, right there, what he just did. Shane Douglas indeed making a statement right here tonight. He was pummeled from pillar to post, and I don't know that we've heard the last of these two guys. Douglas hooked that thing up tight. Wasn't letting go for anything, and there you have it. What a debut for Shane Douglas. Fans, we still have the world title to come. Stay with us. All right, fans, we're back, and we're going to get a look right now at the brand new Tag Team Champions in action. Well, a lot of people still talking about what happened a week ago here in UWF, and it was a big matchup that saw them finally defeating the sheep herders. Somebody finally able to put those sheep herders down for the 3 count. Here they are for the first time as the UWF Tag Team Champions, the Junkyard Dog, Jim Duggan. That's right, J.Y. Duggan, that's the team. And the fans love it. I'll tell you what, it was starting to look like nobody was ever going to beat the sheep herders. Well, that's part of what we talk about here in the UWF. We don't bring any weak links in here. We might have a missing link, but we don't have a weak one, because I tell you, everybody in this roster, top to bottom, can be beaten on any given day by anybody else. The Destroyer's outside the ring, and you know what? Let's talk about anyone can be beaten. They did hold a non-title match victory, pinfall victory, over the sheep herders. Well, they did. They never really got that title opportunity. Let's see what they can do with this opportunity here tonight. Well, Jim Duggan not going to wait around to see if lightning strikes twice. He goes right to work. Duggan and the Junkyard Dog know that these guys pulled one out of the hat a few weeks ago, so they're going to be ready. Irish whip reversal now, and Duggan sending. Oh, he caught him with a boot right upside the ear. And now Hacksaw Jim Duggan winds up. Wow, he just knocked him out cold with that one. Did you see him stand him up? Jim Duggan just stood him up with that one, and that's the difference between amateur wrestling and professional wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. Duggan continues the beating here on the Destroyer. Tag made now, the Junkyard Dog for the first time tonight. Irish whip, double back body drop, gets some elevation there. And now the Junkyard Dog going to work on Destroyer number 2. Well, Destroyers have been to every wrestling promotion there is under the face of the sun. They know their way around the ring. They've learned from the best. They've lost to some of the best. But they've got to win, like I said, every now and again. They're a dangerous team, and they just like to remind people of that once in a while. And I think that's what happened a few weeks ago here. They definitely had a very on night, and right now they're not off to that great start. But we've seen what they're capable of doing. So let's see what happens. The tag is made. Tag is made, and Destroyer number 1 walks right in to the fireman carry. Now the Junkyard Dog took him down hard. And now the Dog walking him over to the corner. Destroyer fighting his way out with some big elbows, and now he's got himself some separation. Let's see what he can do with it. Junkyard Dog going for the slam, and it's blocked, and now look at the Destroyer. What's he gonna? He's bringing him over to his corner. Snapmare takes the Junkyard Dog over. Well, again, we know that in moments they can be devastatingly brilliant. That's a tough neck breaker right there as he drives the Junkyard Dog down. Irish whips him into the corner, and now let's see what happens here. Tag is made to Duggan. And again, the double team. Irish whip into the ropes, and it's another big back body drop. Duggan tried to keep him from making the tag, but that didn't happen. But in the meantime, look who walks right into it. Destroyer number 2. And he got stood up again. Yeah, he's getting stood up like he was on a blind date or something, man. I tell you, he's just getting his world rocked right here. And now Duggan sending him all the way. Both Destroyers are down on the floor. And this crowd solidly behind Jim Duggan now, and now Duggan distracting the referee, buying a little bit of time for the Destroyer if he can get back up or not. I'll tell you, it's taking him a very long time. He's just getting up to all fours at this point in time. We already seen one match end, but a count out. Would really like not to see another one. Well, he won't be counted out, but he may be counted down before this one's said and done. There's another tag made. And here comes, oh my goodness. Jim Duggan just took him out of his boots with that one. And now the Hacksaw waits on him to get back to his feet if he's going to or not. I don't know. Oh, he caught him. He caught him. What a clothesline by Duggan. And that's the way it goes. And there are the UWF Tag Team Champions, Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the Junkyard Dog. Well, I got to tell you something. I'm really impressed with the way these two boys are working together so quickly. They've only been a tag team for a short period of time, but they are coming together very fast, very well, and they could hold those tag team titles for a very long time. Fans, we mentioned last week we are going to be seeing some talent from World Class entering here into the UWF. Could there be a tag team involved that will challenge the Junkyard Dog and Jim Duggan? Stay with us. Still more action to come here on UWF Wrestling. All right, fans, it is time. We've waited, and it is going to happen here. The champion's return clause. He didn't want to waste any time waiting. Dr. Death Steve Williams is coming out to the ring to try and recapture the UWF Heavyweight Championship that he lost last week to Rick Steiner. Well, I'm not going to say that was the best match that Dr. Death Steve Williams has ever wrestled. Matter of fact, I think he took Rick Steiner very loosely in that match. But at the same point in time, Dr. Death Steve Williams has to know as a champion, you've got to take everyone seriously. You've got to come out at 100% each and every time. You can't have any off nights. It is something important to you as a champion. And when you do, well, this is what happens. Indeed, and that is what happened. And moving forward now, Dr. Death Steve Williams says, I've learned from that one. It won't happen again. And now tonight is his opportunity to prove it if he can bring that belt back where he says it belongs. Well, if anybody's capable of beating Rick Steiner, I'll tell you right now, it is definitely going to be Dr. Death Steve Williams. The Oklahoma Sooner. Oh, and here he comes. Rick Steiner, now this young man, he's only been around a short period of time. We mentioned earlier that we saw him against Ron Simmons back in the debut here on the Nation Network, and he made quite the name for himself in that outing. Now you see how far he's come in the last couple of months, all the way to the top of the ladder as the UWF Heavyweight Champion. Well, Rick Steiner's proven that he is capable of beating anybody in the ring. If you can beat Dr. Death Steve Williams, it's safe to say you can beat anybody. And he did that, and now he's got to see if he can do it again. That's going to be the true test. Getting to the top of the mountain, that's easy. It's a lot easier anyway than it is to stay there, because now he's marked man. Everybody wants a piece of him, and everybody wants that gold around his waist. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there is the challenger. Dr. Death Steve Williams. The former champion. Will see if he's got what it takes to get past Rick Steiner here in the return match tonight. There's a lot of people that maybe didn't think Rick Steiner would ever be wearing that title here in the UWF, but he proved a lot of naysayers wrong, didn't he? Well, he did, and again, you talk about wrestling, he's a wrestler. He come out of the University of Michigan, accomplished wrestler, him and his brother both, and he's just absolutely proven everybody why wrestling is such an important part. Having a strong amateur background is such an important part of being successful in the pro ranks. There it is, the UWF Heavyweight title. It is our main event right here tonight. Bell sounds, action underway, and these two men collar and elbow right off the bat, middle of the ring. Dr. Death Steve Williams going in, and now Rick Steiner turns it around. Top wrist lock nicely done by Steiner. Back heel trip takes him down, and now Dr. Death Steve Williams. Again, they go to lock up. Oh, look at it. Steiner showing the power and the strength, and he's near 300 pounds overhead by Rick Steiner. Well, I'll tell you what, I've seen a lot of things. Small package, this could be an upset. And Dr. Death Steve Williams kicking out of that one. And now he's got him in a belly-to-belly German suplex. He just set him flying, and again, that's near 300 pounds, and this is starting to look awful familiar. Well, it is Dr. Death Steve Williams for the second week in a row is really being taken out behind the woodshed by Rick Steiner, but now maybe Dr. Death is going to be able to turn something around here and come up with some offense of his own. I'm not so sure, but we'll find out. Meantime, out on the floor, Dr. Death Steve Williams gonna have to make it back up into the ring, and he does. And now let's see what happens here. Oh, Steiner looked like he was looking to lock up again, but that was not what Dr. Death Steve Williams had in mind, and now he is starting to... Wow, what a back and forth match this is turning out to be. A lot of power wrestling going on here between these two men. It's like a couple of bucks. Banging antlers here, trying to prove who's the leader of the pack. And again, Dr. Death Steve Williams trying to score some offense, but Rick Steiner again with the answer. And another overhead press. How much? I tell you what, I don't know what this guy works out with in the gym, but I don't think it's 300 pounds like that. You also have to keep in mind something else, that this is a live human being. It's not dead weight. It is something very hard to control. And he got two and almost pulled it off again. Rick Steiner is in control of this match. And now Dr. Death Steve Williams with that spinning toe hold, and he's working that ankle, he's working the knee, and Steiner is wrenched in pain. Williams now with the advantage. Let's see if he can do something with it. There's a big headbutt, and Rick Steiner on the receiving end. Driving the head of the champion repeatedly into that turnbuckle. Fans, we've seen it all here tonight. And now we're going to be looking at perhaps a new champion if things don't turn, but they do, as Rick Steiner from behind, German suplex, taking Dr. Death Steve Williams over. And now Williams turns the champion inside out, and now he's on the top turnbuckle. But look at this. Shoulder tackle. He goes for the cover. He gets it, one. And that's all he's going to get. Dr. Death Steve Williams able to kick out of that one. Williams. And now look at his gut wrench. Power bomb, and the champion's out. I'll tell you right now, I just saw the eyes of Rick Steiner roll back in his head. I think he's in all kinds of trouble right now, and he knows it. He knows he's in trouble. Steiner is trying. He is struggling mightily to stay around in this one. And another big elbow right there by Dr. Death Steve Williams. Williams has got him. Power slam. And will that be enough? Steiner starting to see the writing on the wall that this may be a very brief title run for him. Dr. Death Steve Williams continues the beatdown, hammering away on the head of Rick Steiner. And Steiner in trouble. Ran right back into the fire. Well, that's one thing right there. You get out of that fire, you might want to get a little separation between you and the burning building before you run back in trying to help somebody, because certainly didn't help himself in that one. He gets one, and now Steiner able to kick out, but I'll tell you, Dr. Death Steve Williams very close to regaining the UWF Championship. The tide has turned in this one. He's got that rear chin lock on tight. I'll tell you right now, Steiner better figure something out and figure it out quickly, because where everything was going his way, it has now gone the complete opposite. And now Steiner. Oh, he caught him. Clothesline, down he goes. And now, wait a minute, what's going on here? He's calling for help. What? You've got to be kidding me. That's Buzz Sawyer. And that's Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. They're taking the steel chair to Steve Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, this match is over. And that may be the last we see of Steve Williams.